Hey, a playa, if you're watching this video, chances are when you text a girl or a crush that you just met, it doesn't end up going anywhere. So I want to share 5 mistakes you're probably making whenever you start that initial text, right after this. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single Monday through Friday, I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. Now, we've all been in that situation before. You text someone that you like, they don't end up responding, or they give you a short message, and you end up feeling like, man, where did I go wrong? Well, the most common mistake that people make is that their text messages are just too boring. You're sending things like, hey, what's up? How are you? And you're putting it on the other person to carry the conversation. If I was a person who got lots of different messages, no one who sends me a message that says, hey, what's up, is going to stand out from anyone else. And I get it. You're just trying to set the framework for how the conversation is going to go. But the problem there is that if the person sees that your initial texts are boring, chances are they're going to assume that the rest of the conversation is going to be boring too. So you want to start off with something more powerful, something more engaging, something that'll keep their interest. The second mistake that most people make is that they come off too strong and they end up being annoying. You send your crush too many messages. You ask him too many times, hey, where are you? What's going on? Why aren't you answering me? Why are you ignoring me? And that annoys the heck out of them. There will be times where your crush can't respond in that moment, so they just don't answer you. In fact, I went more in depth on yesterday's video, so go check it out over here. But basically the idea is this. If you're constantly bombarding your crush with text, that's going to hurt your chances. It's not going to increase the likelihood of them responding. They're going to see a wall of text and just say, man, I don't even want to engage with that. Take baby steps. You want to ease into that conversation. You don't want to bombard them with a lot of information all at once because it's going to be overwhelming, and guess what? You're going to ruin your chances overall. The third mistake that a lot of people make is that they come off too sexual. You try to flirt a little too hard and you say things or send things to them that's just inappropriate. Keep in mind, you just met this person or they finally decided to give you their number. That doesn't mean you should say things like, I love you, or you're so beautiful, or hey, can you send me a naughty pic? If you do any of that early on, all you're going to end up doing is making that person regret giving you their number. They're going to sit there and think, man, this was a bad decision. The fourth mistake a lot of guys tend to make is actually the opposite of the last point. They friend zone themselves. They don't demonstrate any interest in that person at all, which leads the person to think, hey, this is just a friendly, casual conversation. Remember, the whole purpose of getting this girl's number is to see if you can lead into something with her. If you're not going to display that confidence when you're talking to her and you just kind of put your tail between your legs, she's going to read that energy from you early on, and she's just going to assume that you're not that interested. And the fifth mistake that most people tend to make is that they don't lead the texting conversation to hanging out in person. By not moving it to the next step, eventually that conversation becomes boring and dry, and that person starts to feel like, hey, this really isn't going anywhere. Something I talk about a lot is to show a girl how you feel instead of telling her how you feel. It's one thing to just say, hey, I like you, but it's a whole nother thing to just ask her to hang out, to spend time with her one-on-one, getting to know her better, having that in-person interaction, and really seeing how the two of you vibe, and then letting a relationship naturally develop, letting feelings naturally develop, rather than just doing this. Hey, I like you. What do you think about that? So if you're texting them for the first time, try to drop a hint that if the conversation goes well, the two of you may hang out. Leave that low dangling fruit so that they can see that, hey, I'm on board with this too. We've all made mistakes when it comes to texting, but I'm curious to know which one of these 5 you've done the most. So leave your comments down below, share your thoughts and ideas, and hopefully other people who read them can learn from them too. On that note, guys, check out the playlist I have over there on the side where I go more in depth on how to build a relationship with someone through text. The power of text is incredible. You can do a lot with it. So that playlist is definitely going to help you out. On that note, guys, I'll catch you tomorrow. As always, love and peace.